start recording.
Let's mute ourselves.
You can, or if you're quiet, you don't
Oh,
have
we'll
to.
mute. You're funny.
You're crazy.
You are your mother's daughter.
I know. Okay, so what?
All right, wait a minute. What did I do?
Oh, who cares? No. What?
You fix it.
We're recording now. Why are we?
No, she's
I'm
recording.
recording the meeting.
I don't know how to mute us though. I tried.
I'll unmute you, or I'll mute you, and if you have to say something, oh, you did it. You did it. Okay. Okay, so, well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. The kind of like the purpose and my thought process behind this, when we were told that this program was coming out, I was really excited about it because personally for me, my struggle is with food. Like that's my thing. I struggle with just, I have an emotional attachment to it, and I use it as like comfort for a blanket. Like I use it to celebrate, and that's just how I've always been. And then when we came out with this program, I said to Allison, I was like, I want to do like meetings where people can just like, sit around and cry or talk or like get recipes or tips, tricks, like any of that kind of stuff. So when they decided they're actually doing where you can be certified, like legit certification to like kind of teach this, which will be in like a few weeks or in September or something, where we can get like the whatever to do it. You can do it. Sure. I don't want to.
Well, I'm gonna sit in the chair. I don't feel like you're talking down to me. You're good.
It's like kindergarten. It's like we're teaching.
Oh.
Thank you, because I showered today.
So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I wanted this to be a place for us to just whatever we need, and every week we'll do it, and we can go over our stuff, do whatever. Now this, yes, it's a program, but there are going to be so many tricks and tips and all that kind of stuff, things that I didn't realize. And she adjusts things about like getting on the scale every day, which for me, the scale used to be like, that was the end all be all. That would tell you exactly how my day was gonna go. So I didn't like the scale. And when she had us do that, it was something really hard for me.
So you've been through this program?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and I love it because the best part is like, I'm gonna get to teach it, and I've learned all this kind of thing. So, my like main goal and vision for all of this, and I wrote it down because when it came out, it was fire. It was awesome. Wait till you. Hi. You have 20 burpees to do because you're late. I'm just kidding. Thank you for being here. You sit down and just get comfy or whatever you want to do. You're fine. You're fine. So like, okay. This is Amy, not to be confused with Amy.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was to foster and instill wait, it sounded good when I wrote it. Foster and instill knowledgeable and healthy relationships with food. And that's what I kind of want us to do in these meetings. Oh, I thought she had her hand raised. But that's kind of like the reason for these meetings. I just want you guys to feel supported. I want you to, especially if you have like some sort of emotional attachment with food, or you're just not like, what do I eat? And why do I have issues with food and whatever it might be. So what I kind of wanted to do is, just because I know there's people on, would you mind, and if you're comfortable with it, just unmuting yourself, and my girls won't have to unmute themselves, but just kind of say like, like a tiny bit about yourself, like your name, and just like why you're here. mean, I gave you some information about it, but even like, and those kind of things, like you'll do that then. What you kind of want to maybe get out of this, is it community? Is it like learning, like how to look at food labels, or how to like get your kids to eat right, or, whatever it might be. So, who wants to go first? What, you guys want to go first? Yeah, since they're, yeah.
Hi, I'm Amy, and
You can, like, there you are, all over the place.
I met Amy through school, and I've been friends with her for the past few years, and kind of following her on and off with the Beachbody stuff. And I struggle with exercise, and food's always been my thing, but I've always been able to maintain my weight because I've exercised and kept it off, or under control. But the last few years, I was diagnosed with a breathing problem, which limits the exercise, and it's made it worse because I'm so frustrated. So I just eat because I'm frustrated, and it's gone downhill. So I feel like I know all the things. I've struggled with weight my entire life. My family has all struggled with it, but I'm constantly trying. I'm never giving up. I'm constantly trying to get there, and I'm looking for the community support of all of you guys. So
Yay! Thanks. All right, this one here. I'll turn it a little bit so you can. Here you go. I turn it for you. This is Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm brand new. Like, I just became a coach or a training coach, and our husbands work together, and that's how I met Amy.
Yeah.
And I followed you along. I've had 2 babies since I met her, and so I was like, okay, I don't want to get like on the Beachbody yet until I'm done having babies. But I was very wishy-washy about it. But I really like to exercise, but I don't always have the time. But I'm also have a problem with eating a lot of bread. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, I eat too many carbs too, but I seriously take it to the next level. Like,
so really,
I wake up in the morning and I like have to have a bagel, like one of those big Thomas's ones. It's just something that and if I don't, it's kind of like quitting smoking or something. Like, it's my addiction. It is like my crack. Yeah. It really is. Like, everyone's like, oh, no, you're probably not that bad. I'm like, no, I really am. I love having bread with dinner and stuff. So, and bread is not just the only thing, but I just really want to get on a healthy lifestyle. I have, we have a few people in my immediate family that are, have been overweight, and my sister, has overcome it, with surgery, but she's eating better and stuff. But I just want to get on a good path.
Okay, thanks for being here, homie.
Yeah. And learn.
Yes.
Learn.
All right, so who would like to go next? I'll mute myself. Leader Llama, go.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Do I get a yes? Yes. Okay. All right, guys. I'm Katie. I'm actually a coach with Amy. Allison is my sister-in-law. So my journey's like so crazy. I'm not even going to get into it. I've been down this path before. Food's been an issue. Exercise has been an issue. There's many issues, many excuses that I've had. I had the 2 babies right after my second. Last year I had back surgery. I couldn't move for pretty much 2.5, 3 months. So what do you do when you can't move? You have a newborn and it's summertime, you eat. But that's not an excuse. I mean, I was never to where I wanted to be before that. And just like we had talked about, like, why start a journey when you're going to have another baby? And I had that mindset too. I had my daughter. I said, I'm not going to get in shape because I'm going to have my son. Well, that backfired and kicked me in the A2 because then I'm 3 months postpartum with back surgery. But it was something that I couldn't control. So I started my journey a little over 6 months ago and completely changed my mindset on exercise, nutrition, everything. So that's why me and Amy have kind of like teamed together and said, you know what, we're going to dig deep into this nutrition thing, because I always tell people, and it's a joke, abs are made in the kitchen, not so much the gym. And you have to think about what you're ingesting in your body, because no matter how much you're sweating in the gym and how much you're doing things, if you're putting, I don't want to say so much chemicals, but all the things in your body, it's just null and void. I mean, you think that you're working out and you're doing a good thing, but you can't go and sit down and eat that ice cream, eat all that garbage because you did a workout. Like, there's no rewarding yourself. This is a lifestyle change, and it has to be if you really want it. So I tell people that you have to get rid of the excuses to get the results. And I'm living, breathing proof. So's Amy, so's Allison. We all are. So that's why we're all here to really help you guys for all the information that we've learned. I mean, a lot of us have been brought up in that mindset, no matter what generation you're in. Like I said, you celebrate with food, you mourn with food. Food is always the comfort. You always go to it for something, for a holiday, no matter what. Food's always encompassed with it. But we really want to dig in on how you can still have those comforts, but make them work for you, and how it's going to work for your body, because that's the ultimate goal here. So I'm going to unmute myself, and thank you for my people too for showing up, and we're going to dig into this and go a little further.
Who would like to go next with introductions? I'll unmute you, Mom. We're gonna Thelma and Louise. Okay.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
You're unmuted.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
You can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy's mom, Elizabeth. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, good. I'm on here because, I was threatened. No, I wasn't threatened. I came on here because I want to learn how to eat better. I'm not a big fan of food. I don't like food. I don't like it at all. I'm a chef, and I cook all day, and I don't like to eat, and it's a problem because I usually just grab something quick because I don't want to take the time to make it for myself because I've been doing it all day long. And I don't know, I need to learn to eat better. I want to learn more about good carbs and bad carbs, and I want to learn about good foods to eat. But that's why I'm here.
I'm Amy's other mom, Candy. A lot of you'll hear about me off and on all the time, Mama Baker. We just so happen that I'm headed down. I live about 2.5 hours north of here, just north of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. So when Elizabeth and I get a chance to hang out together, we usually have fun and that type of thing. Anyway, but we do FaceTime exercise together all the time. If we're not FaceTime exercising together, we're probably not exercising. And that's kind of our accountability with each other is it's like, hey, it's carb day or it's cardio day. And she's like, I hate cardio. And I'm like, we did strength yesterday. We have to do cardio today.
Yeah, but I can't breathe.
But she can't breathe.
I have the breathing issues too.
Right. So, but I have, I guess you would call retired. Basically, I'm retired. But I have custody of 2 granddaughters that I am now raising that are 6 and almost 8. So I want to make sure that I'm making good choices so that I can pass those good choice thoughts onto them. Right. I never, ever had an issue with food. Never had an issue with weight. I was always skinny. I was the person that they were always trying to shove food at me. And then had hysterectomy, and boom, there it is. Everything changed. Now, about a little over a year ago, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure out of the blue. Just went in for a pre-screening for insurance, and the lady at the lab, at LabCorp, she was like, oh my God, you should go to the hospital. I'm like, what? She's like, your blood pressure is like critical right now. She's like, if my computer was hooked up, it wouldn't let me go any further. It would make me call 911. So needless to say, I went to urgent care because I didn't want to stay at the hospital. Anyway, long story short, blood pressure medication, cardiograms, all that good junk. It's time to make some changes.
And we did.
And we have. But we have a long way to go still. Bye.
But you have really made a lot of changes. You came off some of those meds, right?
No, not yet.
Or they lowered them?
Yeah, no, they took me off of one. They lowered one because I had a reaction to it. They put me on an additional one. But the doctor, my regular doctor, and I are about to have a conversation about that because because my blood pressure is perfectly fine now. So it's time for at least one of them to go away. I hate taking medications, and I think sometimes I fought with the cardiologist nurse over the phone because she said, he wants to put you on a third medication. I said, no. I don't think so. I take my blood pressure daily. I'm good. The blood pressure's fine. I don't need another medication for no reason.
Right.
You gotta keep them straight.
Don't tell them too. If you need her to tell your doctor, she will.
I'll tell anybody's anything. Just tell me what you need them to know. I'll let them know.
She does. I mean, how to fix a car, how to like get rid of snakes, like whatever it is. She knows it all.
How to change the oil.
Yes, all of it. She knows it all. All right, thank you. Okay, Danya, you're shopping. Do you want to go? Are you okay? Okay. Do you need me to unmute you?
Hi.
Hi.
I am in Walmart. Yay. I just left the office. So my name is Danya. I am a real estate agent and mom of 3, and my oldest turns 18 on Friday. And so that's why I'm in Walmart and not there with you all. I live in Fuquay with Amy, and I actually found her on Instagram a couple of years ago, and then I saw her in public, and I got so excited, like I saw a celebrity.
In Walgreens. In Walgreens.
No, I saw you before that at Celebrate Fuquay. Do you remember? And
yes, you were at your tent. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then I saw her in Walgreens, and my kids thought I was crazy for hugging this person I'd only ever met one time, and she loved on them. And so anyway, so my oldest baby is turning 18, and so so I'm a mom of 3, and I'm still trying to lose the baby weight. Not really. I actually never really struggled with weight until after all the kids were done. Age caught up with me. It's not an excuse. It's just it is a reality that I'm having to change the way I've always lived, which not necessarily was the healthiest way. So I'm having to, learn really what is healthy in order to be able to maintain, which has been a little bit of a struggle for me because I wasn't horrible. As a matter of fact, of my family, I was probably the healthiest, but it's not seeming to matter. And it makes a difference now too, that even though I'm still the healthiest, I'm the only one that really cares what I look like and what I feel like, and what I look like to my children and to the people around me. And so that's what's prompted my my willingness to be in this group. And actually I've been with Beachbody. I think I've passed 3 years. I took a little break in there. Not that I wasn't still doing stuff. I was, but I changed coaches, and I love Amy. She's completely inspiring, and she really is a better fit for me, just with the way she runs the groups and encouragement and information. So thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. You needed someone to get shit done. That's what you did.
Sure did. Yes, I did. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
I really do wish that I could be there, and I'm glad that I'm able to Zoom in, because it might have been harder to be there next time had I not been able to, without seeing and feeling like I was a part of it. So thank you.
Yes, and have fun at the beach.
Thank you. And I am listening, even though I'm shopping and strolling. So
It's like a break time. We get it.
yeah, it's going to be a late night getting ready. So I have yet to bake a cake. So, all right, I will talk to you guys soon.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Tracy or Julie, do you want to introduce yourself, or you don't have to? If you're like, you don't have to. We can kind of, it's up to you. Katie, do you know if they want to, or they might?
Unmute themselves if they do.
Or I could unmute them, maybe. Do they? Okay, I'm gonna go to Julie. Do you want to?
Did you get me? Okay, so I'm like, I cannot unmute myself. My kids are in the background. Sorry. Okay. Katie, I just got started on the To Be Mindset with Katie, and her and I actually joined a local gym. Geez, when was that, Katie? Like winter sometime, and then we went like once or twice, and then both of us kind of quit, and all of a sudden I see her and she's like dropping weight like every time I see her, and I'm like, holy crap, what is she doing? And she looks awesome. So eventually she posted something on Instagram and I jumped on, and my cousin's actually a coach, so I kind of felt bad about the whole switch, and I didn't tell my cousin, so she's my little dirty secret. But it's going so good. Not in that way. I see everybody's face.
We're all about that, okay?
But yeah, so far so good. I like the mindset. I like everything, and it's going well. I just I have to get back into working out. I tore my hamstring like a little bit over a month ago, so I can't really do a whole lot, but we're getting there. So
right, and I think like with this, for those of you like that don't know yet, like this is about like getting your nutrition and following like your meals. Exercise is kind of.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great system. I've done like the 21-day fix and everything. Like I would do awesome during the week, and then as soon as the weekend came, I'd go back to where I was. And, you know, this was easy. I've gone on vacation with this, and I've gone camping with this, and I was able to pretty much stick to it completely both times. So, of course, you're going to stray. Like, you know, I'm on vacation, so I was drinking a little bit more than usual and whatever. But it's a great system. So far, so good. And Katie's good sticking on my butt, so that's what I need.
She's like that sometimes. Thanks, Julie.
Absolutely.
All right, let's hear from Tracy if she wants to. Or hold on, let me see here. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, babe.
Okay. Tracy, she just messaged me. I'm going to intro her real quick. She's having some technical difficulties over there. Tracy is like my cousin-in-law. So she's jumping on this call right now, kind of just to see what all this jazz has been that we've been talking about. She's not full into the 2B yet. This is kind of like an informational for her. So I told her to jump on, see what it's about. Like we've all been saying, it's a mindset change. It's an easy program. So I wanted her to kind of listen to it, and I see her here and there, like catching on. So no strings attached type deal that we're doing tonight. Just come in, welcome everybody. So I'm glad that she's here and that she's jumped on. So she's messaging me on my trusty little handheld here. So if she has any questions, she sends them to me and then I'll answer them.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Yes, and kind of how I was thinking we would go through this after we kind of welcomed and chatted with everybody. So, I mean, I don't want to steal the show, but I thought, what?
By all means, Lana.
Okay. Well, what I thought was I would share with you just like, and I kind of shared a little bit about like my feelings with food and what food always was to me. So like growing up, growing up in where we were, like food was love. Like I loved, my mom would be at work and Nan, my grandma, like I'd be with her and we would make chocolate cake with vanilla icing and we'd make cheesecakes and we make cookies and we'd do everything like, and it was big meals. It was always big meals. Like you never didn't have a big meal. You never didn't like skip a lunch or whatever it was. It was always that. And most nights was ice cream. At late, we'd watch like Quantum Leap and we'd have ice cream in bed. And my grandfather would be downstairs on his little rocker, and he would hide his chips down in the rocker and his Fifth Avenue bars on his peanut butter cups because Nan knew they were there. But like that's like there was always food and good cooking food, good. And my mom took right after her, like with food. I mean, like mashed potatoes. And I used to get, when I was in high school, like if she was making something that I didn't want, like I'd get an attitude. Like I'd be ticked off that we were having that because I looked forward to that food. Like I wanted that yummy, good, whatever it was, like meatloaf, scalloped potatoes, peas, and whatever else. Right? Good. I know. And like then it became like as I got older, things started like, of course our body's changing and this and that, and I started seeing myself as I don't look like the other girls. Like I was always short, but I didn't care about that. Like I liked being short because I was always in the front for everything. So like I didn't mind. But like I didn't have that body type of a lot of the other girls. So I became a person that liked to try to control everything because there were other parts of my life that I just couldn't control. So I would try to control exactly what I was putting into my body or not putting into my body. And I wouldn't eat, and then I'd go to cheerleading practice in high school, and then I'd come home and I'd eat, and I'd get second servings, and sometimes I'd eat third, and then I'd go get a shower, and I would get sick in the bathtub. I'd get in a shower, sticking my fingers down my throat, trying to get rid of it, or not eat whatsoever. And it just became this really unhealthy kind of way. And two, other people would make comments that, and now that I've learned that people that have issues themselves, they're the ones that throw those onto someone else. Like my aunt that was, I mean, she smoked like forever, like, and she was this big, like this big, and she'd be like, you're looking a little chubby, you know, like in your bathing suit. And I'm like, you know, like when you're in high school and middle school and you're seeing, and you're just like, and that's like when kids are, I guess, so impressionable, I think. And then it didn't stop going into college, and it was, you know, the stress of school, and then like just, I mean, I don't eat in dining halls because I'm a little OCD about certain things. So I don't know the people making my food and did they clean it correctly. I saw that kid at a frat party the other night who's washing the dishes, and I don't want anything to do with that. So I'm not going to eat. What is that? So like I would live on Cheryl and Company cookies and Pop-Tarts and Easy Mac and no fruit. But I'd be in the rec center 3 times a day. And I never really saw any kind of whatever. So I just had this really bad relationship with food, and sweets are my thing. Sweets are my comfort. Like sweets are, and never before, even the prior years to doing Beachbody and everything, now when I eat sugar, it really affects me. I sweat, I get like headaches, I'll like get like knots in my neck, and I don't feel good eating it. And it's only like certain types of things or whatever it is, and I'm learning that my body responds differently to that kind of stuff.
But you still eat it sometimes.
But
even though you know.
Exactly.
That's my problem.
Exactly, yeah. Right. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go have ice cream. I haven't had ice cream in a while, but I'm gonna go have it. and like I want to have it, but then I don't want to, and it's this whole like, I don't want to eat it, but I want to eat it, but I don't like the way it makes me feel, but I'm pissed off because
you want to be able to have
I want to be able to have it. Like, why can't I have it like everybody else? And so like it's this kind of vicious cycle, but this kind of has taught me to stop and evaluate it. And if I want to have a few, scoops of ice cream, or not a few scoops, but like a few bites of spoonfuls.
I knew you didn't mean
right.
3 scoops, yeah.
Like maybe that's my thing, or maybe instead I can look and say, well, I'd rather have, like the yogurts, like the mousse kind of thing, like that kind of whatever, and making a better choice where I don't feel deprived, but I still feel okay with my decisions. So that's kind of where this all has like led into. And as I'm growing through all of this, I'm learning how my body responds, and based on my past, what food was and where it is today. Some days, and I put on my little poster over there, like food makes me nervous sometimes. It upsets me sometimes, but then there's sometimes where I can look at it and I can just say, food is like legit like gas for my body, and I need to just put the right amount of food and the right foods in so that I can go. One of my favorite foods is cheesecake. I don't even know the last time I've had cheesecake, because that is something that I can't have. Like that is that's my drug. Like I love cheesecake, and I would eat myself into oblivion. And if we had a cheesecake and you tried to eat a piece of it, I'd stab you. Like, I'd be like, that's my cheesecake. Like, don't touch I'm not going to share it with you. You know what I mean? And that's not right. Like, that's weird. And that's why I love to, like, figure out why. And, like, I am figuring out, like, there's an attachment to it because that's my grandma. That's what she made. Like, that's the love and the little crumb. And when she messed up, she made a chocolate cake one time with the vanilla, like, frosting, and she put almond extract in it. In the icing, like, so it was almond icing. And I was like, no. Then I think I really hurt her feelings, because I was like, this is not right. Like, this is not what you do. Like, I'm here, I'm prepared, I'm excited to eat like half of this cake. And then in the morning, the other half, and you put almond extract in it. What is that? And that is not normal behavior. Like, that is not,
you were really looking forward to having it.
I wanted that so bad.
And then it's like not what you thought. It's like,
it's almost like devastating. And that's like an emotional attachment to food. And I know that I have that. So I think what I love about this stuff is that I can figure out why I have that emotional attachment, and what I can do to almost like attach to something else that's better than the other stuff, kind of thing. So that's kind of where I am. And this too is not depriving you, but it's giving you, you're always drinking water first before you have a meal. Then you are your veggies first. You're getting on that scale and you are tracking what you're eating, because I know it's daunting and stuff, but for a coach, like, if I say, show me your meal plan, and we're like, oh, we can look and see what you had, and you gained on this day because you were eating fruits later, and maybe your body holds on to the good sugars in the fruit, but we want to eat it at a different part of the day, or whatever. It's almost like detectivizing your food and how you should eat, and everybody's different. Everybody is absolutely different. Everybody's taste buds are different, and some people like vegetables. Some people have a hard time getting them in. I know my mom, she has sometimes issues with like meat and stuff. So that is something that's where her Shakeology comes in, because that's where she can get that nutrition. Do you care, like, if I tell that she had gastric bypass surgery, and because of the way they altered everything, I guess it's your like gut, your intestines, it can't absorb through like pills, right? Like yeah, let me, where is she? Unmute. Okay.
You're good.
So what about the sugar?
Well, like when you were taking some different vitamins and stuff, they don't absorb like the pills form.
Right.
It doesn't help her. So like B12, all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. She's got to get it like from the food.
Yeah.
So through its like natural form.
Right. They had to give me shots for B12. They had to give me shots.
Because when she did her gastric bypass, the way it was for her was she couldn't eat certain foods. Like it just.
That's how my sister had it too.
My sister and my mom both had it.
Oh yeah, she can't eat certain things.
No, I have a real problem with meat and sugar. I can't process sugar either.
And even
That's
like.
Same thing with my sister. Yeah, like she used to love to eat all meat, and now she's like, can't eat.
No.
Right, and that stuff she needs.
Yeah.
Like she needs the good fats, the protein and stuff from it, but she couldn't. It doesn't work. Like it's doing nothing for her, and it's not being absorbed. So that's why for her, Shakeology is really important for her, because she can get it that way. So she doesn't have to take her shot. She doesn't have to do any of that kind of stuff anymore. So that's worked well for her.
Right. There are days that I have to eat 2 Shakeologies just to get it going, just so I can get my what I need in. So
yeah,
it really is.
Okay.
You can meet me again now.
Okay, I was going to. Allison, do you want to say anything? Look, there she was. She was ready. Oh, let me unmute you. It takes like there you go, baby.
Yeah, it takes a second to come through. No, I'm just, I'm loving listening to this. Me personally, I've never really had a huge food issue. My whole thing, just weight in general, happened around my pregnancies. I was always, athletic and everything, and just with some complications with things, I got frustrated with my body and didn't treat it well because the pregnancies were not going well. So now that my kids are 6 and 9, that's all done with and we're on the right track. But a lot of this that is part of 2B Mindset is similar to a program that's one of a favorite of mine and Amy's, which is the Ultimate Reset. And it really does change the whole, kind of drinking that water and, kind of loading up on the veggies and everything. And, what I want you guys to remember is, like Amy said, like it's gas. Food is fuel. It's what you need to sustain what you're putting your body through. So even if fitness is not your focus, if it's just locking your nutrition down, doesn't matter. You still need to function throughout the day, and for me, at this point, yes, it ties into my fitness, but it also is an example for my kids and, what I want them to see and how, especially she's sitting on the bed here with me, having a little girl, how she views her own body and how she looks at food and things like that. So I really, those of you who have kids or grandchildren or whatever that are watching you, please be aware of that, how you speak to yourself, how you look at your food, how you talk about what you're doing and why that you make the choices that you do. And just, keep it positive because you deserve that good stuff, like I said, or like Amy said, it's fuel, it's gas. Like if you're not going to buy a sports car and put cheap gas in it. Okay. You're your sports car. So put the right things in it. And really, as a busy mom who constantly, as you see, running around like a chicken with my head cut off all the time, one of the things I have to be aware of, and like I said, I don't necessarily have a problem with food. I love fruits and veggies and all the good things. What I do have to be aware of is paying attention. There are so many, how many of you have been in this situation where you're all of a sudden you realize you're eating and you're like, when the hell did that happen? Like,
where did the goldfish go?
Right. Like,
Waffle that they didn't finish.
Where did all the bagels go?
Right? You guys know what I mean.
You can't throw away food.
And that's
right. You're mindlessly taking something off your kid's plate. They left half a grilled cheese and it looked really good. You know, oh, but that bagel, like what's half a bagel going to hurt? Well, you start doing that every day of the week and it might, you know. So that's what it is for me. And that's just something I want to share to make you guys aware. And that's something we laughed when we first did the Ultimate Reset, because it literally said in there, chew your food, and it gave this number, chew your food like 30 times or something. And I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like,
oh yeah, it was, and it was like, but it was
mindful. You
yes.
have to be mindful of what you are doing. I mean, there are some meals that I don't even sit. You know, I'm not even sitting. And so, you know, again, this all comes back to that. And you have to get mindful of that. You have to think about what it is that, you know, it's a task. It's part of your day. You're going to sit down, you're going to look at what you're going to put some thought into it and, you know, take the time to do that. So hopefully that helps you, you know, or that triggers something for you, or you know, that made sense to you, or something you've caught yourself doing in the past. Because that's where it lies for me, you know, like actually stopping. And, you know, I don't work out and, you know, I'm not doing burpees and responding to messages and taking phone calls and whatever. When I'm working out, I'm working out. When I'm eating, I need to be eating. It doesn't take that long, you know, but, you know, I deserve the 10 minutes to sit down and focus on what it is that I put on my plate and that's going into my mouth.
My food. You're like, and this is my food. Yeah.
Right. Not theirs. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to you know, like they teach it, they're going to portion it out on my plate and this much should be veggies and this much should be protein or whatever, you know, stick to that. That's it. Show's over, you know, save the 6 M&Ms for another day.
Leader Llama here. I have something to add.
Allows herself 6 M&Ms.
Oh, well, that's very generous of you.
three purple, 3 yellow. And here I am, like all the time, like, look at these cheesecake M&Ms they got out. I'm gonna send them to you. Ha ha ha. But see, she can control that. Like she is very good at controlling that. Not me. Like I just like, don't have it.
I'll have like 8. You know, like I'll have 6. No, just a couple more.
Right, and then the whole bag's gone.
And the whole bag gone. Seriously.
You don't even realize it.
Yeah. I can't have like a candy bar. Like Russell got me a candy bar, like a Dove. And I was like, oh, cool. Like she can break off the pieces. The thing is gone.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, I'll have 2 pieces right now. And then maybe some tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, it's gone.
Yep. Yep. All right, baby, what were you going to say?
Okay, so I just want to chime in for a second because I'm like just kind of like sitting back and listening. And for those on the call and those after the call, I feel like we're not that we're giving it to you. Like this is how it is. But I'm trying to think from an outsider's point looking in. This is a program this is my mindset of it. And this is what helped me through a lot of my things. When you sit down and plan something, if you take that time every week to plan your meals, like we tell you to do, like the program tells you to do on the weekend, you're taking that time out of your day to plan your week. Okay, number 1, it's saving you time during the week. I can promise you that. It makes your life so much easier. We're there to help you do it. The program's there to lay it out for you and do it. The recipes are in front of you. When you look back to that time that you spent, say on Saturday or Sunday, planning your grocery list, planning your meals for the week, come Wednesday, when you say, oh man, you know what, I'm going to stray from this. I'm going to go off and eat this cheeseburger or something. You will slap yourself on the hand and say, no, you're going to think twice because you already took the time to think about it. You already spent the money to plan for it, and you already have it written down, and you're already saying you're going to make yourself accountable to do it. So the beginning of the week, you're already setting expectations for yourself. And I know for me, like, I don't want to leave myself down. And we're all here in tonight and listening to this video because we came to a point that said, I've had enough. I need a change. No matter what has happened in the past, you can't change that. You cannot change a damn thing that has happened. But you can change what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So we're in that mindset already. It's all about taking the plunge and doing it. Because once you take that small little step, it all lays out. I know it sounds like overwhelming. I thought it was overwhelming. I had family members telling me to do this, and I was like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah, Allison is,
She's talking
and
about
Katie
the
are
Beachbody or just the 2B mindset? in general?
Beachbody and all of it.
This is not like, okay, I didn't get into the 2B mindset, but the 2B mindset kind of, nutrition in any workout program goes hand in hand. If you don't follow that nutrition in the workout program, you're not going to be successful. There's no, I tell all my challengers that, like, if you're going to go eat a Big Mac after you work out, like, don't even work out. Like, what's the point, honestly?
It doesn't cancel it out, yeah.
Like, kudos, work out. But you're not going to get anywhere. Like, don't come to me in 3 weeks and say, I haven't lost any weight, I haven't done anything. Well, if you're not fueling your body to do what it's physically meant to do, and that's what it is, it's fuel. And I can honestly tell you that once you change that mindset, and the reason I'm telling you guys this is because Allison's a veteran, Amy's a veteran, I'm still a newbie, so I'm still like fresh in this. Once you get that mindset, when you go to say, you know what, I'm going to grab that like grilled cheese, or I'm going to grab that handful of M&Ms, you're going to slap yourself in the wrist and be like, you know what, why did I do all this prep? Why did I do all this planning to set myself up for failure? And that's all it is. And it's almost like that mountain you have to jump over. You all know that there's that time to do it, and there's no better time than now, because that weight's still going to be here tomorrow, but you can help reduce it now. And to be 1,000% honest with you guys, the reason I am digging into 2B so much is it's not so much for me on a personal aspect, it's for my family. It's for my parents. My father has health issues right now. He needs to lose some weight. I'm digging into it for that fact, to get him healthier, because you're setting an example. Like we talked about your kids, your family, you're going to have brothers, sisters, mothers, everybody coming to you saying, how can you help me? And don't you want to set that positive example for somebody else? It's really that simple in the whole mindset of things. So if you're helping yourself, you're setting an example to help somebody else, and it's a trickle down effect. Yeah. It really, really is.
Yes, and too, like I always say, like, that's not my food. Like, the kids are having this, I'm having my salad. Like, Justin are having this, but we gave them like macaroni and cheese or whatever too. And I'm like, well, I can have a little bit, but that's not my food. That's not what I kind of committed to. And then two, yeah, like, I mean, the other thing with some of these, like the tips and stuff like she gives with this is like, dinner and done. Like, you have your dinner and you're done. Like, that's it. You ate it, you're done for the day. You can have tea, you can go get your bath, you can go do this, you can go do that. But if you're, for some reason, you're like, I want dessert, I want this. Well, why are you wanting this? And yes, okay, so you want to have more vegetables, and if you're like, I will eat vegetables, I'm that hungry, well, then you're that hungry, you know what I mean? And it's about kind of like planning and looking at things, but no matter what program you're doing, like Live For, you're doing any of these programs, all of this stuff it like overlaps. It's because there are so many different like mind things kind of in it. And what I like about it was I learned she takes us grocery shopping, and like when you're.
Is this all through videos?
Yes.
Okay. Are you doing this? I'm just curious. Are you doing the two?
I'm getting information about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, do you guys want to see like what it kind of looks like a little bit?
Let's show them an example of how it's set up.
Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Okay. So you guys can see this. So what this is it's like a video-based program. Like she goes through here, like talking to you, Alana. She's a registered dietitian from she's in San Diego. But her big thing was like she went to fat camp every summer and would lose weight and then come back.
I've always wanted to go to fat camp.
Right? I mean, like I was always like, I want to go to fat, like, but I probably should have. But then her principles behind it, she calls it the 2 bunnies, which is like water first, veggies most, and then tracking your food and the scale. Checking that kind of stuff. But then here she talks about like the veggies, proteins, what kind of carbohydrates you're looking for, accessories like, like dressings and all the kind of stuff. Like one of the things that she talks about with dressing is like get your dressing and put like a few drops of water in it, and it thins it out like just a little bit enough. So like instead of having 2 tablespoons, you can just have 1.
Really you want the coverage.
Right, which is shake it up,
That's true.
And then this like plate it for breakfast, like what breakfast should mostly look like, and dinner and snacks and like making over your mind.
If you're trying to show that we can't see it, your screen's not showed.
I don't want to share it with you. Okay, hold on. So many. Sorry, I didn't do a screen share. It's not that one.
There we go.
Yeah, but can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, this is all this kind of stuff, and then she takes you. This was probably my favorite video. She takes you. This one's the longest video. It takes you 26 minutes. She walks you through every aisle of the grocery store and why you would want to pick this versus this. Like you're looking at yogurts, and it's like, well, but so you're thinking it's a protein, but the fat in it is actually going to count as a fat over a protein, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
And even like the carbohydrates, she talks about the carbs. Are they and she calls them like an FFC, fiber-filled carbohydrate. So yes, it's a carb, but does it have fiber in it too? And you want to do that. Like she gives you all these things about social events and parties, like traveling and vacation. So there's a lot of videos with it. And then there's also like these resources too, like your tracker, and I can show you guys your tracker and just food lists. And this is not measuring. So for those of us that came from 21 Day Fix and Portion Fix and looking at that, it
stresses me out.
Yes. Does it really? Like what?
It really does, because I feel like if I don't do it exactly right, then I failed, and then that's when I spin into the next day, and I'm just like, and then I do bad the next day.
Yeah.
But if I don't do it perfectly, and I know that doing it half, just even if I put, 2 salad dressings is better than going off the wagon the next day, that kind of thing.
But
it stresses me out to have my little containers and have to think about, I need 4 vegetables and I need, it does.
Right.
It stresses me out. Not that it's not,
no,
it doesn't work. But
right. Well, and this, the way I like she'll take, like, for example, she'll it's plated, as she calls it. And you want half of your plate to be vegetables. And it could be whatever kind of vegetables, mix, match, all the kind of stuff. And then your protein, and then a good carb. So, like, sweet potatoes, like you can have quinoa, you can have rice, you can have that kind of stuff.
It's just the portion.
So it's like, yeah, and it's so easy to look. Like if you go out to a restaurant, you know, you can look at that and be like, okay, that looks like that, and that, I'm good to go, kind of thing. And then also, she does a lot of like eating kind of, do you guys remember like the eat this, not that kind of stuff? She does that. Like she says, like, instead of having a can of beer, like if you're out and about or whatever, like have that Truvia or whatever kind of thing, or this like whatever little popsicle or yeah, whatever it might be. Or instead of having a huge like piece of cake, like having like a tiny piece of cake, if you can feel like you can have that tiny piece of cake, or even just like eating before you go, or taking your stuff with you, or if you're going to a cookout, like just knowing what they're gonna have. And so it kind of goes like, she has this little circle thing where you're like, okay, you're gonna start with your veggies, and you'll get your protein, and then you'll have your carbs. And if you're still hungry or you still want more, you start over, and it goes veggies, and then you eat that. And so it makes sense, and then you're not mindlessly eating too. And I listened to her one thing today, and she was talking about just sweets, and this is something that I'm going to learn in this training, how like sweets make us happy. Like it's like it triggers like the serotonin in our bodies, and yes, it makes you happy, but like what other things can you do instead of having that? Or like people are so used to maybe having dessert after dinner, so but it's a habit. Like it's just a habit. Like that's what we do. Like we always have cherry pie with vanilla ice cream. Well, why not have just cherry pie? Well, that's not what we do. We have the cherry pie with the vanilla ice cream. And it's hard to kind of switch that out, but that's what kind of things make those big changes too. But yeah, and this is something that you can use these kind of whatever in any of the programs, in any of them. Like the Lift 4 we're doing right now, like it's proteins, it's the good carbs, and it's the vegetables. So it's kind of not, I mean, Autumn will tell you that you should still measure, you this and that. And yes, I agree with you, but if it's like you're gonna have a container and a half as opposed to just one container of salad, and that's whatever, like that's fine. Like that's fine. Like it doesn't have to be so strict, and you don't want to deprive yourself, because that's when people they lose their minds with this stuff.
Yeah, it's like if you can't get this under control, then other stuff's not gonna work.
Exactly.
That's right. That's where I am.
Right. So does anyone have like any other questions like they want us to answer, or like I would love to, like, one thing I want to know is like, what do you want to know about and understand and learn about like food, nutrition, or it can be any of those. Food makes me feel, my favorite foods are, like, if you want to kind of answer any of those, and then we can poppy off and resume. Does anybody want to? What do you want from this? I want to, what we talk about and how you feel and whatever, that's how I want to run these meetings. This was kind of just a quick kind of like overview and to chat and get to meet each other. But what I want to do is teach you guys every week, like some sort of component from this 2B mindset. So like, I want to teach you what plating looks like. I want to teach you what it looks like to think about your, what'd she say on this? Like, she has all these things that's like more sure, where yes, you can have, you ate your other stuff. Yes. Do you want more veggies? Yes. Like is out of sight, out of mind kind of stuff. Like don't bring it in the house. Or if you want chips, let it be like chips made from like bean chips, like
Yeah.
it's just different kind of things that she teaches you, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that kind of stuff. So
Hey, Aim.
yo,
Wait, I lost my Zoom for a second. Sorry.
okay.
Tracy just asked me a question. She said that she's a picky eater, and how does she get over that? And I think like this program, it's not to limit you from anything by any means. This is not saying you can't have this, that, or the other thing. It is teaching you what to eat first, second, and third to best fit your needs. It's not saying, okay, don't eat that piece of steak, don't eat that pasta. Like, you can have everything that you want, but it's teaching you how to fuel it better to make your body and its chemistry work with itself instead of against itself.
Yes, exactly.
I hope that answers her question there. Like I don't want anybody to think that we're saying, don't eat the cake, don't have the drink, like don't do all that stuff, because that's not what it's about. That's not like, this is a sustainable, livable program. This is a mindset change that we want you to continue on, not just a short fix of like a 21 day or a 60 day. This is a lifestyle change.
Yep. And I think like one of the things we've really, instead of having rice now, we do cauliflower rice.
Yeah.
Like we just, everything
I
is.
love it. Nobody else in my house does it.
Right. Like, and you can make cauliflower stir fried rice.
Okay.
And, you know,
that's good that you just said that, because she has sent me another message that she's not keen on veggies, which a lot of people aren't. A coach of ours is not.
the CEO of our company is not.
Yes. You can have vegetables and things and you don't even know it. And
yes.
Tracy, this is really funny because you can relate to this, and hopefully other people do too. But Tracy knows my parents and my family. And just for an example, for you personally, my father's like totally against like veggies, spinaches, things like that. He just started drinking Shakeology and he needed to get more veggies in his diet. So I said, start throwing them in the shake. You don't even taste it. You're drinking dessert and you have a full load of spinach in there. And you have no clue.
Or the power greens. Yeah.
Yes. There's so many ways to pack stuff in and you don't even know that it's crazy. And I can promise you, girl, I have so many recipes that you would love vegetables for. It's crazy.
Well, and two, your taste buds start to change when you kind of get the funk.
Your body starts to change too. Like it feeds off of having that better nutrition. Julie had to jump off of here, but she had messaged me the other day and said, like, you know, like my body's like feeling weird, stuff like that. I'm like, you have to embrace it because your body's going through a change of not having the normal. It's exactly what I said. I said it's a detox. It's like you are detoxing from a drug with the preservatives, the additives, the fried food, all the junk that you're putting in your system on a daily basis that you don't realize that it is.
And how it affects you.
Yes. It slows your metabolism. It slows your mood. It fogs your brain. It doesn't have mental clarity. Guys, I'm going to tell you straight up. I mean, a couple weeks ago, my husband was gone for 6 days and I was just trying to get by. Like if it was going wrong, it was going wrong for me. So the one night I literally, like, the kids wanted corn dogs for dinner. So I was at Walmart that day. I'm like, corn dogs it is. And my kids eat very healthy and they're really good with that stuff. But I mean, it's a kid, they can eat a corn dog, whatever. I ate one. The next morning, it was like disastrous. Like I messaged Amy, I'm like, my body hates me. Like it's revolting. Like I'm done. Like over a corn dog and Pop-Tarts. Yep, that was my dinner. I'm human. It happens. Like they were good Pop-Tarts though. They were strawberry with frosting on them. So I'm not.
She's Pop-Tarts. That's her thing is Pop-Tarts. I'm like, put it down.
if they're in the house, I'm going to try to eat them. That's why they don't come in the house. I mean, like, it's a weakness. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, you will find ways, even like, she just messaged me again. Okay. So you can put broccoli with macaroni and cheese. You don't even know that broccoli's in there. You have no clue. There's so many ways around it that you're fueling and you don't realize it. So it's embracing the process though. It's really changing the mindset and how we were brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of us were brought up that you don't leave food on your plate. You finish every drop of that because
they're starving kids
you asked for
in Europe or Africa. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, I was brought up in a family. My mom's a cook. I mean, she cooks everything, anything, and anything that she makes is amazing. But she's brought up with the fact of you use real butter, you use the real stuff. I mean, like, that's home cooking. And you ate to feel good. You ate to, like I said, you ate to mourn, you ate to celebrate everything. And in our, I guess the world today that we live in, our health problems are connected to the food that we're eating. And not to go backwards, but it's just an example. Like my father has dealt with some heart issues in the past couple years, and one of his heart doctors actually said, and has him on right now, a complete plant-based diet. That's what he wants him to do for the next 90 days. Plant-based. No dairy, no soy, nothing. So I mean, he is. This is meat and potatoes, man. I mean, this is avid hunter every year. Wild game, like it's on the table. Like that's what I was brought up with, and he is now told to eat vegetables. No cow's milk. If you want milk, you're having almond milk. No dairy. I mean, you're not eating your sausage, eggs, bacon, stuff like that. Like this mindset for him was very hard for him to adapt to. 10 days in it, not even 10. This is 9 days. You know, you told me today, I can't believe how much more energy I have. I went, well, this is a man he turned 70 this year. He has to change his whole mindset because a doctor came to him after 5 years of dealing with atrial fib saying, you know what, Fred, you need to back up and go back and look at your diet because these chemicals, these hormones, and everything that you're putting into your body is affecting how your electrical mechanisms,
wiring,
yes, is handling your body. He's not unhealthy. They told him he has a heart of a 40-year-old at 70 years old. But what you're consuming, we want to tweak that to see if it will help. And I mean, it's these little things. I mean, if we're having doctors tell us this, I mean, very sought out doctors. Like, I'm not even joking, guys. Like, I can't even get into you the doctors and the things that we have sought out for him. But for a man to just sit down and say, let's take it back to the roots. And he said, if your grandmother wouldn't eat it, don't put it in your body. So what's that say?
Yeah.
Were they eating processed foods? Were they eating all this fried stuff that's in packages that it's easy to pop in the microwave and get up and go? No. I mean, it's...
What?
If you sit down and simplify it, it's really an easy process.
We're unmuted now.
We didn't have microwaves when we grew up.
Right. There was no microwave.
There were no processed
There was
foods.
no remote. We were the remote for
Yes.
the TV. There were no computers.
And you know what? The only thing different between now and then is we have the technology to figure out and the know-how and the science to figure out how to fix the medical issues.
Right.
But if we would go back to the roots on the nutrition and actual physical exercise and physical attributes that people had back then, things would be a lot different now.
There was no grazing between. You had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was no grazing in between. There was no processed food. There was,
there's no
they
potato
ate
chips. Yes.
They ate bigger meals, but they also expended more energy during the day. So that, even though they were bigger meals, that was their fuel. Now, were they all correct? No. But in comparison, if you look at the percentage of their fuel to the energy they were expending in between their fuel stops, it was a much better ratio.
You're saying the word there, fuel.
Yeah.
Right.
Fueled their body to do what they needed to do.
Right.
Think about, okay, I know for myself, if I eat a crappy meal, like I said, I am like, ugh, anymore. Like, I just feel like crap. I don't want to move. I don't want to do anything. Like, I'm comatose.
Right.
If I eat a good meal, I have energy. I want to go. Like, I feel good about myself. It's a mental thing and it's a physical thing. It's how your body is.
Well, it's the right nutrition. It's the nutrition.
We can tell you from experience. Our sons, Amy's brother and my middle son, grew up wrestling together. Now, they were both elite wrestlers, 4 or 5% body fat during wrestling season. These boys were lean and mean. They they came out of wrestling practice every night soaking wet. They used to come out looking like they were wrestling partners. So in high school, they wrestled each other. So they would both come out and they would be, one of them would have a black eye or the other one would have a black eye because they went 210% at each other. The day after wrestling season was over. Now, this was before we started wrestling during the summer too, but the day after wrestling season was over, these boys had been on salads, chicken, very, very minimal calories. The day after wrestling season was over, it was, where's the steak? Where's all the crap? They would be so sick, so sick, because their body's metabolism had changed during wrestling season to where all it was getting was barely enough fuel to continue on to maintain their weight, because that was back in a different time era of the thought process with the weight control. But as soon as they overfed themselves all the crap, they would be so sick. I mean, just literally in the bathroom, or because their body just couldn't process it anymore.
Yep. I have no gallbladder anymore. I had 3 gallstones and had emergency gallbladder surgery 6 years ago, I think it was. So before I started this whole process, like, I would eat, and I'm not trying to get gross with you guys, but it would be like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yep.
My body now processes food.
Right.
A lot better.
You're getting your nutrients out of it now.
It's not, I'm getting that vegetable through me. I'm getting the nutrients that I need. I'm getting it absorbed into me. And honest to God, I have 2 small kids. I mean, my daughter's 4, my son's 18 months. I am nonstop on the go all day, every day. I have more energy now waking up at 4:30 in the morning every damn morning than I do when I was just rolling out of bed to try to get my daughter out for the day.
Right.
Because it is fuel. It is the catalyst that we need to move. I mean, like,
It's the right kind of fuel.
Exactly. And people were scared of it. And don't be scared of the veggies. I mean, let's be honest, they all don't taste great. There's ways to get around it. I mean, there's ways to hide it. Like, there's wonderful alternatives out there. And like I said, my father, who's like meat potatoes man, he called me the other morning and he goes,
that's my husband.
That's my life. That was my life growing up.
He's like, your mom made a veggie burger today and it tastes like meat. I'm like, well, how about that shit?
Good job, Mom.
It actually happens. Like, I haven't been blowing smoke up your ass for
a lot of times with a lot of stuff, if you blindfolded yourself and ate it, if you
don't know the difference.
Well, it's texture. We get used to a certain texture too. So people do get used to texture.
And Tracy, I'll tell you this right now. I know you can hear me because you're on here. First off, it's a man thing. It's a mindset thing. Eric does it to me all the time too. My father will do it to me all the time too. And I know that my cousin Michael looks up to my father. So if you tell him that dad is doing it, he'll go, well, Uncle Fred's doing it. Well, holy shit, I can probably do it too.
Well, any more questions?
We're going to do this every week, right?
Yeah, I want to do this every week.
Okay.
And
You want to see my llama blanket every week when I get really cold?
Yeah. I said to Candy, I said, she's cold.
I'm in my office is in the basement. I'm weird. Don't mind me.
yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Because I want to start going over like getting into things. So like when you guys are like grocery shopping and you're looking for the right yogurt, I want you to be like, this is a better yogurt than this yogurt kind of thing. And like I can use this kind of fiber-filled carbohydrate instead of this.
Yes. Good carbs, bad carbs.
Right.
And there are. There's good things and bad things in everything. There's good fruits, bad fruits.
See? That's what
We were just talking
Not
about
all
that.
fruits are good fruits.
Yeah.
There's ones with sugar and carbs in. I mean,
Right.
That's how you.
I love it.
everybody's like, oh, I'll shove my mouth full of fruits and veggies and I'll be fine.
I got
Not necessarily. Like,
Like on my Reese show.
you have to be informed
Right.
Right.
to be mindful of what you're doing.
Knowledge is
That's
power.
a little good play on words right
Very
there.
good. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you should never stop learning.
Mhm.
Oh, we can attest to that.
And I think that's why I love this, because as she goes through the videos, like the notes and stuff that I took when I went through this, and I was just like, what? Like, okay, like 1 gram of fiber to 10 grams of carbs, like that's kind of what you want. Like it's what you better push. Like just stuff that you, instead of like sugars, like putting sugar in something like oatmeal or whatever it is, use honey, use molasses instead. Yeah, it takes maybe a little bit. It's not going to be like, you know, like it's going to be this great, like crazy thing. But as your taste buds change, it does. You learn how to have it, and then you want it because you don't want the other stuff, because this stuff has so many more benefits and it makes you feel better. So yeah.
Great. I'm excited about that, Aim.
Yeah, and I want to do this weekly so that we can just kind of get together and even talk about things that are a struggle or things that, you know, celebrate, or like with this tracker and stuff that she has to do. It's so you track your breakfast, track your lunch, your snack, dinner, and then, I mean, there's literally a little poop emoji that says, did you poop today? And you get on there and you like weigh your total weight loss, how many hours of sleep did you get, your current mindset, like how are you feeling? Because you're going to notice when you're stressed out, you're going to see weight differently. You're going to see you could see like your poop change, I guess. If you're not drinking enough water, what's going to show up the next day. And it's not to like, with your weighing in every day, it's not to like scold you or whatever, but it's for you to look back the day before and be like, I wonder why I gained a pound. Oh, it was because I decided just to eat all carbs at dinner. And I know that's how that affects my body.
Right.
Do you know what though too? With that being said though, once you get this eating in check, that's going to control a lot of your emotions too. You're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to have that stress. You're not going to have that added stress of saying, you know what, I ate really bad. Like I have an assistant right now.
That's Harper.
You know, kids steal the show.
Oh, wait.
Mine are pretty cute. I'm kind of biased.
I will agree with you.
The stress of eating, because you're in a mindset where you want to control what you're doing. You want to lose those extra pounds and stuff. And then when you know you didn't do something right, or you know you kind of like strayed from the path, you get that extra stress on top of the stress that we already have with life. Right. So you have to think that this is the one thing you can control.
Right.
You can control what you put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You can control the activity that you have in a day. You can't control another person. Let's be honest. Let it go.
Right.
There's other people out there. Just let them do their thing. Worry about you. Worry about how you can handle yourself and how you can handle your family, because you're not going to change anybody else. I can promise you that.
It always looks so dark.
Harper's
We're having a storm here.
Can you tell everyone hi?
Hi, Harper!
Oh,
She's ignoring everybody.
she is, but she see that little smile.
She's shy.
She got new glasses. Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah.
She got her first set of glasses.
Cool. My granddaughter just got her first set of glasses, the younger one. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you have glasses?
I wear contacts.
See? Yep, I have glasses, Harper. Look,
I have glasses too.
Mama Baker and my mom have glasses too. Isn't that
All the
pretty
cool
awesome?
people have glasses, see?
Oh, look at you. Pretty.
I started wearing glasses.
Mm-hmm.
You're making me look like I have a double chin. What are you doing? I
Oh, there she's smiling.
Well, are there any other questions, or and I know we probably are running out of time with
We
this,
ran out of time a long time ago.
but if you have stuff that you want us to go over, I mean, whatever we can go over, like anything, let us
How
know.
about we do this? Top 3 things that they need help with. Send the message
Okay.
to myself or to Amy, the top 3 things you need help with controlling your eating, your mindset, how you prepare things. Dig deep into it though, Tracy. You're telling me, I see the message came through right now, food. What about food?
Mine was like good carbs, bad carbs, the good sugars, the bad sugars.
You need to know what to fuel your body.
I need to know that when I'm walking through that grocery store, what food I need to pick up.
So here's a question. If we would set out, okay, say we just make a meal plan every week for you guys.
Oh my God. I would love that.
Would you do it? Like, here's a
Yeah,
meal
I
plan,
would.
here's a grocery list. Do it.
Mm-hmm. I would. I could do that.
Michelle's like,
Maybe. I'll be honest, maybe.
you can tweak it.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem if I've got 3 other people in my household that I've got to get on board. But for me, I wouldn't have a problem.
If you started though, like I said, you're an influencer to other people.
Absolutely.
We'll come around.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
And if they're not on board, they're gonna have to be on board. If you're the sole cook in the house.
I tell my granddaughters this all the time. You eat it now or you can have it tomorrow morning for breakfast.
This isn't SHIT or get off the pot type deal.
Right.
Let's be
Right.
honest.
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not like a fad thing. This is not just a,
Yeah.
oh, let's do it to lose some weight. This is for health. This is
For the long term.
more for health than it is for immediate
Gratitude.
satisfaction and gratitude. This is for staying around, for being with those grandchildren, for being with the children, for teaching them the good habits, for teaching the family good habits. Anyone that wants to jump on the ride with you.
Well, and one thing Mama Baker we used to do, like when the kids, Antonio would be like, I don't want to have, everyone's like, all of a sudden she didn't like carrots. And so we were sitting down there eating carrots, and I was like, well, Julio, what do carrots do for us? It's like they help your eyes, like they this, that, like, so like getting them involved and be like, this is what we're having, and we're having this because
This is what it does
Right,
for our
right.
body.
Right.
this is what it does.
Education at the same time.
Yes, like even just pick one thing that you're having. Like we're having chicken tonight because we're having protein, and chicken's protein, and it keeps you full.
Yeah,
And your body needs it.
I can attest to that. Those kids do know do know that stuff.
And I make them, because they're older, like, I'll be like, hey, we're having, I don't know, like jicama or something, and they're like, what the heck is that? I'm like, look it up and see what it says. I'm like, look it up and see. Like, because they'll be like, I want to have corn. Corn's a vegetable. And I'm like, no, it's more of a starch. Like, it is, so another vegetable, let's pick another vegetable.
Right.
So.
Do you ladies have issues with sweets? Tracy just sent me a message. Okay.
No.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna throw some stuff together and send it out for that. That's gonna be my call to action for you guys. I'm gonna send you stuff over on how to curb your sweet tooth in this situation.
Yes.
Not only are we asking something of you, we're also making ourselves accountable and to provide more information.
Yes. Well, and doing it with you too, because we're not going to tell you to do something and expect you to do something if we're not doing it too.
Right.
You know, like, that's not fair. That's like a parent, like, do it because I said so. Like, you can get away with that, but not like here.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, what's wrong with that?
Right now, Harper's going to say tomorrow, Amy said I don't have to do this.
Right.
No, Harper, no.
Harper's going to be coming to North Carolina soon.
We would have so much fun.
This, it's so doable, guys. It's so doable. It really is.
And the learning all the stuff, like, it's stuff that really, this is the kind of stuff they should teach in high school. Like,
absolutely.
Yep. If they want to get rid of this, like, 2/3 of Americans being morbidly obese, this is the stuff that people need to learn.
Yep.
Just like balancing a checkbook, they don't teach them how to write their signatures anymore, so that's cool. So why don't we throw this in?
Right.
They don't teach you how to write your signature anymore?
No.
Because they don't teach cursive.
No. Well, some schools are getting back to it a little bit, but probably just so they can sign their name.
Yeah, some teachers will do it. Like, Antonia's 3rd grade teacher was like, you need to know how to sign your name in case, like, you got to sign, like, something legal, or, when you go to get your driver's license, you need to sign your name.
I'm not going to print it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not even going there, Amy. You know how our conversations go; they go on 20-minute tangents. So
I know. Yeah, we'll focus back in. But yes,
those on tomorrow.
Let us know your 3 things.
3. I want 3, not general. I want specific things, like nitty gritty things.
And you know what? Like, Tracy, you said what'd she say? She needs help with food.
She needs help with food. She said she needs help with sweets. So I'm conquering that.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. When you write down that thing, so why do you need help with food? And she might say, like, I need help with it because I feel like I can't plan it. The 4 whys, like, ask yourself why every time you get there. And by the time you go into that 4th why, that's when the real answer comes out. That's when the real kind of, and sometimes you don't even realize it.
So any other questions, guys? Tracy, you can shoot me a message over and I'll see it. Any questions at all before we jump off here? Because I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, by this time, I'm in bed. Like, I'm an old lady.
No, I'm good. You good, Mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Good?
I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom.
Okay, that's good. You drinking water?
What's that?
Were you drinking your water?
Yeah, I was drinking. No, I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah, because you're drinking water.
Yes,
No.
yes. It's good enough. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll do this next week too.
7?
And I'll record this. So if anybody needs the recording, I can always message it to you. And like if sometime you can't be on or whatever, we'll send the recording.
Okay.
And we're going to make it strictly an hour from now on. Right now it went a little over, but I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed that it's going to be too much for them to.
Right, yeah. We'll
Bring the bear.
keep it. We'll keep it, yes. We just kind of had a meet.
Well, the introductions took about half an hour. So.
Yeah, it's all good. I think it's a great support group.
Okay.
Harper, are you going to join us for the next meeting? No.
She's like, Mom, it's time for bed.
I
What
want
are
to
you doing here?
to come on and talk to us. My goal is to get Alana, the creator of this, to get on and speak with us, be a speaker for us. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Yes.
Q.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you again for being here.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Nice meeting you, ladies. See you next week.
Bye, guys. Bye, Katie. Bye, Harper.
Bye. Bye. Bye.